In today's video, I'm going to show you how I light up my police squad cars in my Lego City using the modular building connector or whatever power source you prefer. Whether it be the USB to 0.8mm plug or my AAA battery pack to 0.8mm plug, you are going to have a lot of fun learning how to light up your cop cars. I'm going to be using the modular building connector though. To do this, you are going to need 6 LED lights. I have 2 white, 3 red, and 1 blue. And just a real quick tip, I like to color code my LEDs. So the red LEDs, I use a magic marker to make red. Obviously blue is blue, and white, I leave white. You're also going to need my multifunction flash module, a 6-port expansion board, and 1 extension cord, whether it be 6-inch or 2-inch. Let's get into tearing this guy apart. One thing I do want to note, I do make sure that I have cavities everywhere inside the car for the ease of running wires. And my favorite method of making cavities is by using 1x1 round plates because they give you a nice little ridge that you can run your wires in. Starting with the rear of the car, I am putting 1 LED light under each 1x2 tile on each side of the rear end. With those wires in place, I'm going to tuck the additional wire that we don't need down into the trunk cavity that I already created. And what I like to do a lot of times is kind of twist the wires together a little bit, and then I'll take a brick separator and just kind of tuck those wires down into place so that way I know they're not going to go anywhere. After I get them all tucked in, I just take the tiles and I tile the rear end back over so everything's nice and enclosed and isn't going to move on me. With the rear end all done, it's time to start on the front end. And again, I like to use the little cavities that I have using the 1x1 plates, but we have to put 1 white LED on each side. And I always like to put it under the square plate to try and help avoid any pinching of the wires. The reason I say that is with the square plate, you can take the wires over to the corner, and that way the stud underneath when you're pushing it in does not pinch or cut the wire. With both LEDs installed, we can now start reassembling the front end. And what I like to do is try and get the wires to kind of run back through the center, and I will take them and run them all the way back to the back where we're going to be utilizing the 6-port plug. But first, I want to route my power up and into the car, and how I'm doing that, because I'm using the building connector, I popped off that tire. You can see there's a little hole right behind that tire, and that little hole is just big enough to let me slide my plug up and into the car, so that way I can hide all the wire inside of the vehicle and not have a bunch hanging out on the bottom side. Now we just have to put the rear tire back on, and as you can see, everything's nice and hidden, and we're going to start plugging everything into the 6-port connector now, so we can get everything powered up. Now we got to hook up our flash module, but before we hook it up and stick it in the car, what I'm going to do is hook up my red and blue wires and then hook it into power just so we can make sure we get the correct flash that we want to happen on the top of the squad car. Because this flash module has 3 different options. This is option A, and with each option you can speed up and slow down the effect, as you can see by me rotating the board. This is option B, and this is the option I'm going to be using, and again, you can speed that up and slow it down as much as you want. I like it to be kind of on the fast side because I feel that that is a more natural look. Option C is what I use on my railroad crossing signals because that gives you the nice wigwag effect. With that all tested and working, we're ready to put the blue LED under the trans clear blue tiles, and we're going to put the red LED under the red trans clear tiles. Now let's plug the flash module into our 6-port board in the car, and let's get everything tucked in and ready so we can give it a nice test. Hopefully it works first try, but sometimes it don't. And here we have it, guys. Now we have 2 squad cars for the Lego City, and I could not be happier. I'm probably going to build about 4 of these in total, but I wanted to share with you how you're able to do it for your own Lego City creations. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time on Bevins Bricks World.